We use them for work, for rest and for play, even in our sleep. The fear of not clutching one in our sweaty little hands is so pervasive, it's got a name: nomophobia. Across the Tasman, they've got it bad.
It's likely you're one of 99.2% of Australian smartphone users with some form of nomophobia.
But before you laugh, let thee who is without low battery anxiety cast the first phone. Recent studies show New Zealand's got it bad too. On average, Kiwis stare lovingly into their phones for 3 hours a day. It's a Lord of the Rings movie. Every day.
All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you.
Well, when it is time to wake up, 80% of us decide to grab our phones within minutes. 1 in 3 Kiwis admit they're addicted. Might you be? If you're brave enough, check the screen time counter under your settings. Your sinful cell phone habits could be worse than you think. If you've tried to cut back but can't, there are some creative solutions. Switch to grayscale. Removing all your colour reduces your magpie brain's urge to check bright red notifications that feel like an itch you just have to scratch. Google even has a template to print out a phone envelope. It only lets you make calls and take photos. Of course, you can't see those photos until you take it out at the end of the day. Or you could simply downgrade to a dumb phone. Old school flip phone sales are spiking as Gen Zers look for a little digital detox. But if we're resorting to desperate methods like these, doesn't that just confirm we're all phone addicted? Here we go! Joining us now, psychotherapist and addiction specialist Kyle McDonald. Now, Kyle, are we all addicted to our phones, do you think?
Well, I think we have to be careful what we mean by phone addiction. I mean, I think most of us now these days rely on our smartphones for so much of our lives. And actually, when we talk about addiction, it's probably more likely that we're talking about individual apps, which, of course, are sort of programmed and developed to hold our attention and grab our eyeballs as much as possible.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Do you personally feel like you have to limit your own personal usage?
Well, yes, actually. I mean, I had to figure out how to use the screen time app for my kids' devices, and then I figured out probably it was a good idea to put an hour limit on Twitter each day, sadly. So I'm currently limiting my Twitter usage.
That's so grim, man. Do not admit you're addicted to Twitter. That's sad.
Now, I know, it is a bit sad, isn't it?
I find when I'm bored or waiting, I actually am embarrassing. I turn to Twitter, I turn to Instagram. Is it bad to be using that downtime and just looking at my phone?
Well, I think one of the things that's sort of slipped out of our life a little bit these days is those moments of just sort of mindful reflection that happen while you're waiting in the supermarket queue or, you know, in the waiting room or in traffic. Are we engaging in the present moment with what's in front of us, with real relationships, real connection and real experiences, or are we actually avoiding that and creating anxiety by spending too much time, you know, doom scrolling on Instagram?
Is there a way in which our phones can actually help us with all the noise and the anxiety and stuff?
Absolutely, they're a great tool and a great distraction. And distraction's really useful when we need to get away from what's going on inside, just to have a bit of relief or to release tension or wind down. In the same way that for many people, having a drink is a perfectly harmless thing to do at the end of the day. Grabbing our phone at times when we know we should be doing something else, that's when we need to be really honest with ourselves. And one of the ways to do that, of course, is, like you guys have done today, is track that usage using the technology and actually really see, how am I using the phone and how much am I actually using?
Kyle, fascinating and so much great advice. Thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
And this is the project. How lucky are we? We've got Johnny Bruff, not just world famous in New Zealand. He's world famous like everywhere. Yeah. What we do in the shadows. Comedian and actor. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Guy, you know.
Guy as well, of course.
This is full on, this phone addiction situation.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we all feel? Are we addicted to our phones?
Nope.
Well, I just spend all my time hovering over the post button thinking I'm really funny, but then I'm thinking 2 hours of that is, am I funny? It's not funny. So I post it and then just post it, and then I regret it.
I want people to be able to connect with maybe Kanoa, well, maybe all of us. So we decided in the interest of public
safety and information that we would check all our screen times on our phones. So
I'm so nervous about this. I know Kano is anxious about this.
Well, there's no anxiety needed, but let's have a look. We can have a little bit of an idea. So look at that. Some of you are addicted to Instagram. Some of us are addicted to Messenger. So who is the worst on the desk for using their phones? Oh.
Yeah, okay, 5 hours and 19 minutes. But Guy, you're right behind me on 5 hours.
You guys are actually tying on the finish line.
Okay, I also lied about the main app that I use. Okay, it's been a whole thing. For the last 2 weeks, I've been playing this game, and I had to get 6 eggs so that I could buy some clover to feed my cow, to get some milk to make some butter, so that I could grow some tulip. And it's just been going down over the last 2 weeks, and it has taken a hold of me, but it's ended. And the last 2 mornings, I've actually been doing some journaling, and I've written in my journal, open my journal before I open my phone today. So you're welcome, I'll tell you.
Nice.
What is the name of the game you're playing? I want to know.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.